Hello friends, today I am going to tell you the story of the world's most mysterious and controversial diamond, the Kohinoor. A jewel that has changed empires, destroyed rulers, created legends, and carries with it what people call a curse. Whoever owns the Kohinoor may rule the world, but misfortune will never leave his side. This is not just the story of a gemstone, it is a journey through blood, betrayal, and history that still sparks debates even today. It begins in 1854, when India was under British colonial rule. The Governor-General of India, Lord Dalhousie, sent a 15-year-old boy from Punjab all the way to England. The boy's mother was considered dangerous, her influence seen as corrupt and threatening, so the British separated the child from her. In England, he converted to Christianity and soon became close to Queen Victoria's son, Edward VII. The British Crown placed him under its care and even granted him a massive annual pension of £50,000. If we adjust that to today's value, it comes to nearly 650 crore rupees every year. But this boy was no ordinary child. He was Prince Duleep Singh, better known as Maharaja Duleep Singh, the last ruler of the Sikh Empire. For years before he was taken to England, in 1849, when the British defeated the Sikhs, the 11-year-old Duleep Singh was forced to surrender a diamond to Queen Victoria. This was the legendary Kohinoor. That same year it traveled nearly 7,000 kilometers by ship to London. The legend surrounding it was chilling. Whoever owns this diamond will rule the world, but will also experience terrible misfortune. This was the so-called curse of Kohinoor. And if we look back at history, every owner of this diamond was indeed surrounded by tragedy, war, betrayal, and bloodshed. The Kohinoor is now locked away in the jewel house of the Tower of London. For decades, India has demanded its return, but Britain has always refused. Yet the question of how this diamond came to be is full of myths. Some say it was discovered during the lifetime of Lord Krishna. A British officer once claimed in his report that according to tradition, the stone was found in that era, but historians largely agree that the Kohinoor came from the Collier mines in the Golconda region of present-day Andhra Pradesh. On the banks of the Krishna River, these mines were once the only source of diamonds in the world until Brazil discovered its own in 1725. Nobody knows exactly when Kohinoor was first found. Historians believe it was likely discovered sometime between 1100 and 1300. A vague reference appears in a Hindu text in 1306, but no one knows the name of the book or its author. The first solid written record of Kohinoor comes from the Baburnama, written by the founder of the Mughal dynasty, Zahiruddin Babur, after his conquest of India in 1526. He described the Kohinoor as a stone so valuable that it could feed the entire world for half a day. He had claimed it as his prize of victory. A century later, in 1628, Shah Jahan, the builder of the Taj Mahal, commissioned the magnificent Peacock Throne, which took 7 years to make and cost 4 times more than the Taj itself. Among the countless gems that adorned the throne were 2 of particular significance, the Kohinoor and the Timur ruby. Interestingly, the Mughals valued rubies more than diamonds, but still, the Kohinoor was placed as the eye of the peacock on the throne, symbolizing its power. By the 18th century, Delhi had grown immensely rich under the Mughals, but their empire had weakened. This invited Nadir Shah of Persia to invade in 1739. After defeating the Mughal Emperor Muhammad Shah, he plundered Delhi's immense treasures. It took 700 elephants, 4,000 camels, and 12,000 horses to carry away the loot, which included the Kohinoor. A popular story says that Muhammad Shah had hidden the diamond in his turban, and when Nadir Shah proposed the ceremonial exchange of turbans, the jewel fell out. Its dazzling sparkle made him exclaim Kohinoor, meaning mountain of light. Whether that story is fact or folklore, the name stuck, and from then on the diamond was known as Kohinoor. But with the diamond came misfortune. Nadir Shah was assassinated in 1747, his empire collapsing soon after. His general, Ahmad Shah Durrani, took the Kohinoor with him to Afghanistan. There, the curse seemed to continue. Members of the Durrani dynasty fought bloody battles amongst themselves. One ruler was blinded with hot needles, another dethroned. Shuya Shah Durrani, one of Almat's descendants, eventually wore the Kohinoor on his bracelet. But he too was overthrown in 1809 and forced to flee to Lahore, where he sought refuge under Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the founder of the Sikh Empire. In exchange for asylum, he surrendered the Kohinoor. Ranjit Singh, known as the Lion of Punjab, valued the diamond greatly. For him, it symbolized victory over the Afghans. He wore it on his bicep, a shining emblem of his power. But when he died in 1839, the British were already watching closely. Rumors spread that Ranjit Singh wanted to donate the diamond to Hindu priests. British newspapers of the time wrote angrily about this, calling priests idolatrous and unworthy of such a priceless treasure. The East India Company was instructed to track the diamond and seize it when possible. After Ranjit Singh's death, chaos engulfed the Sikh throne. Within 4 years, 4 rulers came and went. Finally, only a widow, Rani Jindal, and her young son, Prince Duleep Singh, remained. The British defeated the Sikhs in the Second Anglo-Sikh War in 1849 and forced a treaty upon them. In this Treaty of Lahore, the Kohinoor had to be handed over to the British East India Company. Punjab was annexed and the young prince's fate was sealed. His mother was jailed, and within a few years, he was shipped to London, never to return to his homeland. It is said that when Duleep Singh visited Buckingham Palace in 1854, Queen Victoria allowed him to see the Kohinoor once again. He held it in his hand, but the jewel that once symbolized his empire was now forever lost to him. He spent his later years rebelling against Britain, even seeking help from Germany to return to India, but he died at just 55 years old in Paris, in poverty and despair. Meanwhile, Kohinoor became one of Queen Victoria's prized possessions. Strangely, the legend of its curse continued. It was believed that no man could wear the Kohinoor safely, only a god or a woman could do so without misfortune. Out of fear, the British monarchs decided that only queens would wear it. And so, the diamond was passed down from one queen consort to another. First Queen Alexandra, then Queen Mary, and later Queen Elizabeth, the mother of the current king. In 1851, the Kohinoor was displayed in London's Hyde Park for the public, but people were shocked. Far from being dazzled, many described it as a dull, unimpressive stone that looked like ordinary glass. The Times newspaper even mocked it. Embarrassed, Prince Albert, Queen Victoria's husband, ordered it to be recut in 1852 to enhance its brilliance. But the process reduced its weight from 186 carats to just 105.6 carats. Despite the loss, its sparkle finally impressed the public, and it became one of the crown jewels of Britain. Today, the Kohinoor remains in the Tower of London, guarded heavily. And though it has been with the British monarchy for nearly 2 centuries, demands for its return continue to echo. For Indians, it is more than a diamond. It is a reminder of colonial plunder. Politicians like Shashi Tharoor have highlighted how British rule drained India's wealth, with Kohinoor as the most symbolic example. But when a petition was filed in the Supreme Court of India in 2016 asking the government to demand its return, the legal arguments were weak. The government admitted that Kohinoor was handed over under the Treaty of Lahore, not stolen outright. International laws like the UNESCO 1970 Convention cannot apply retrospectively, making the chances of a legal return almost impossible. Even if Britain agreed, the question would remain, who should the Kohinoor go to? Afghanistan, where it once rested with the Durranis. Pakistan, since the Sikh Empire's capital was Lahore, or India, where it was originally mined. Even Iran has claimed it, tracing back to Nadir Shah. The truth is, all 4 countries can claim ownership in some way, because when Kohinoor changed hands, these modern borders did not exist. And so, many historians argue that the Kohinoor should be left where it is now, as a witness to its dark past. But for millions, the Kohinoor is not just a diamond. It is a symbol of pride, pain, betrayal, and history itself. 8 centuries of wars and empires have surrounded this tiny stone with more drama than perhaps any other jewel in the world. And the question still lingers: should India demand it back, or let it rest in London? Before I go further, if you are enjoying this incredible journey into the mystery of Kohinoor and the curse that haunts it, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Your support keeps me motivated to bring you more stories like this. The Kohinoor has survived empires, betrayals, and bloodshed, but it has also outlived those who fought for it. From Mughal emperors to Persian conquerors, Afghan kings to Sikh rulers, from the hands of a boy king to the crown of an empress, it has traveled across nations and centuries. But one thing has remained the same: it is never free from controversy. Whether you believe in the curse or not, there is no denying that misfortune has followed its path like a shadow. And so I leave you with this thought: what should be done with Kohinoor? Should governments fight over it? Or should we finally let this diamond rest as a witness to history? Tell me your opinion in the comments below. Do you believe the Kohinoor should return to India or remain in Britain where it has been for so long? I am waiting to read your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I will meet you again with another mystery.